What's up, mechanics? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another episode of Tool Tuesday here in Taiwan. This is Taiwan Tuesday. We just got back from dinner. Obviously, we're over here visiting our partners, our factories that we work with overseas. We just got back from dinner. We were gifted this bottle of scotch. So, we poured up a couple glasses and we're going to sip on this while we just talk about what we're doing, upcoming projects, and what you guys can see.
Mike's first time in Taiwan, what he's experienced and what we've dealt with.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right. So, this is actually 1 week into Taiwan. We've been here for a week. Actually, we haven't been in Taiwan for a whole week. We flew to Taiwan last Saturday. Immediately the next day went to Vietnam.
Yes, we were in Vietnam for the first week or so of the trip. We were visiting other factories in Vietnam to kind of diversify where we bring stuff in from, because obviously, like you guys know, we're going to have a USA-made portion of our line. We are going to have a still very strong Taiwanese portion of our line, but we do want to kind of broaden our horizon when it comes to bringing in product from overseas. So we're going to try to diversify our portfolio a little bit and have stuff coming in from Vietnam, maybe some from Thailand and from different parts of the world, so that we're not just concentrating on one part of the world. And that is also at the request of a lot of our OEM customers. So we are, working on their behalf to have products brought in for them from other countries that are not China or Taiwan.
Yeah. And we have to come over here to visit those people, because a lot of people think that if you're not making it in-house, it means that you're just placing an order for something that's already made. It's not the case. A lot of times we're working with these manufacturers to make things custom, and a lot of things get lost. There's a language barrier. So you have to show up in person and get through that, showing them what you're talking about and showing them how things have to be done to make the tooling and the machinery that has to go into making this stuff. It's a lot more of a complicated process than people think. It is not just this manufacturer makes that, let's just place that order and put our brand on it. It's not that.
There are very few things in this market today that are completely 100%.
There are brands that do that.
What? Oh, that, yeah. No, what I'm saying is there are very few items in today's world that come out and it's complete, and I mean completely 100% from the ground, different than anything else out there. Normally, it's something that someone's seen that they said, you know what, this would be a better idea if we did this, this, or this. So what we do, or what we're doing currently, is we would bring ideas here and we talk to our partners at these factories saying, look, this is what we want to do. We need to change this tool to be able to work for this function. And that isn't just a bam. No, there is tooling that's required. We have to pay for a lot of changes. We have to test a lot of changes. And that back and forth can take months, if not in person, where we have to sit down for 3-4 hours with each one of these people that we meet with and kind of brainstorm how we can change things, why it won't work, what can make it better, what would be a better idea instead of what we originally thought. It's just, there's a lot of back and forth in terms of how we can perfect a product before it comes to market, and that is the stuff you have to do while you're here, because if not, it will take much, much, much longer. But that being said, we also visit a lot of factories that we've never worked with in order to kind of, A, get ideas, and B, see if there's any opportunities for private label customers, not only in the States, but internationally, because keep in mind, we don't just sell in the U.S. We sell all over the world. So if there is something that has not yet been introduced to, say, a South American market, we can bring that to South America and market that correctly to where certain OEM customers in South America can take that and do well with it because it's never been introduced there.
Yeah, and a lot of these manufacturers here, they work on new products and try and create new ideas themselves, so that when companies like us do come to visit, they have something to show us, and then we can sit down and talk about it and talk about how we can change it and how we can make it work to fit a certain market. So that's kind of what we've been doing. And we have a lot of things that we're working on, and a lot of times things that you guys comment, we will bring that up while we're here. One of the things that we were talking about today was...
Your voice is heard here.
One of the things that we were talking about today was the universal joint or dual universal joint spark plug sockets. So we have a couple different options. When we showed what we had in terms of adapters, a lot of people said that they don't like Legoing pieces together. They want something that's one piece, dual swivel. So, we heard that. We were kind of talking about it today and looking at what options are available. to make a professional product. You know, there are, like the one we showed was like a more inexpensive item. We want to create something that is a quality piece, looks quality and performs as such. So we're looking into that. And there's something else that we're going to talk about here pretty soon.
But now, something I do want to mention is that this week has been a unique trip for us, or for me, for him definitely, but for me, in coming here, a lot of you know and have kept up with news in the States. We had Hurricane Helene hit before last week, and that was a very destructive storm for a lot of people in Florida. And as I know you all know, a week later, along came Milton. And Milton was on a path to destroy Tampa Bay. And we left the day before that path was really an issue and kind of,
Well, actually,
announced.
the when as soon as we got on the flight was the first spaghetti chart. And if you know what I realize is a lot of people that don't live in Florida probably don't know that term so much, spaghetti chart. But a spaghetti chart is all the different possibilities, all the different possible paths that a hurricane can take. So it's a bunch of lines, and it's called a spaghetti chart.
When we got here, I told him that they call it an udon chart here.
Now you said an udon model or something.
He goes, "Oh my God, really?" I was like, "No, no."
I totally believe it. But we got on the plane. I looked at my phone and I was like, "Look at this." I was like, "Is this real?" And then every day after that was just straight stress because it was, Hurricane Milton's supposed to hit Tampa as a Cat 3, and then a Cat 4, and then it was a Cat 5, and then it was one of the strongest hurricanes ever recorded.
It really was.
And so,
it was a nightmare.
And it was directed right at Tampa. And if it did hit Tampa, that means that our houses are destroyed.
Our families,
our wives were there alone. My mother was there alone, so was his. And it was extremely stressful because we were thinking, okay, if it does hit Tampa, we're gonna have to leave here early. We're gonna have to fly into Miami, drive up, and then deal with that.
Granted, it was one of those things where we left right before it was dangerous, not knowing, because we wouldn't have left if we would have known. And by the time you get here, by the time you get back, you can't get back into Tampa. So it would have been a whole.
Well, you have about a week's notice for hurricanes.
But for those of you who know, spaghetti charts are not. They're inaccurate by hundreds of miles.
So
most of the time.
yeah, but sometimes.
Most of
This one was accurate within like 50 miles. It was supposed to hit Tampa. It hit 50 miles south. So our houses, although the neighborhoods were, ruffled up.
Trees fell, power lines went down. There was damage.
It was strong winds. There was some flooding in Tampa.
But there was supposed to be no more Tampa
There
Bay.
were areas that got flooded. People's houses did get destroyed by flooding and trees falling. All of us were okay.
Our people were safe.
Our people were safe.
One thing I will say about Florida is that it is resilient, and that the people of Florida join in community in times like this and tend to help one another out as much as possible. That is just, I guess, what Floridians do. They understand the concept of being put out of their own homes due to something like this, so they empathize. Is that the right word? Empathize? Yeah. They empathize with people who are put out by a storm like this because they know what it could be like.
Well, and a lot of people have family all over the state.
It's scary.
A lot of people have family all over the state. So if Fort Myers gets hit and destroyed, a lot of people from Tampa afterwards will drive down to go help their families pick up the mess.
And I mean, obviously, the track of the storm at the end there, the last day, moved south. I'd say 60 miles or so. So it spared Tampa from the worst of it, including the storm surge that was supposed to come afterwards. But it decimated south of Tampa Bay, which is terrible, obviously. Yeah. I mean, it was fortunate for us that we got spared, but there's still so many people that have just lost everything twice now in the matter of a month.
Tampa hasn't been hit in over 100 years. Knock on wood.
But just enough of talking about that storm. That is what we were dealing with the first week while we were here, tracking that. So we would go work all day, visit who we needed to visit, come back to the hotel after dinner, turn the news on. Keep in mind, there's no news that we can understand in Vietnamese. That's the language, right? I think that's the language. Yeah, Vietnamese. So we're turning on YouTube, and I'm looking for Hurricane Milton live updates nonstop, just trying to figure out what to watch because there's no other way for me to keep up with what's going on. and it's difficult to be in that situation. You're just staying up all night at that point, watching, saying, "Is my family going to be okay? Is my house going to be okay? Is our business going to be?" It's just there's a lot of going into it, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it was
And
stressful.
I don't know how, and I really don't know how to explain it. Not being there was so much worse than being here and watching something potentially
I would
bad
have
happen.
much rather have been there. Even if
Even if it was worse, I'd rather
if the
be there.
hurricane would have hit Tampa, I would much rather prefer me being there for it.
Meaning with our people.
Yeah, because our people are there, and our
And
houses are there. I would rather be there for that. If
that's
the
not to
ship's
say-
going down, I'm going down with it.
Oh no, you're crazy. If
I'm
you're in
going down
if
with
you're
that
in
ship.
an evacuation zone, you
I'm
get
standing
out.
on the roof
No, you're
with
dumb.
with a fucking flag.
No, you're dumb. You're dumb. That's crazy. If you're
I'm
gonna, if
Florida
they're
man
telling
style.
you you're done, you get out.
Okay, well, hold on. No, wait, hold on. If I was in an evacuation zone, I'd be out of there.
Like, what are you talking about?
We weren't in an evacuation zone. It was just one of those
aren't,
things
but-
where it would be extremely strong winds. You're not going to deal with storm surge, but you were going to have 200-mile-an-hour winds destroying your house.
Yeah. Anywho, our people are safe. Our homes, our business, very minor damage in terms of what could have been. That's all we're gonna say about it for now. That's it. We got very lucky, and I felt like that needed to be said. Like we were very aware of the situation. We didn't just dip on our families. It was unfortunate that we were here, but it was very fortunate that nothing happened.
Yep.
So, to those who were affected, I don't even know how we can help, but God bless your families.
So then after that passed, it was kind of a stress reliever. So we were all like, all right, now we're good. But luckily that was before we had to start visiting all the factories and things.
Yep.
So that was
we visited a couple before that.
Well, we did visit a couple
then the
before
weekend
that.
came, and we
Yeah.
played a little golf, and we actually did go visit a beautiful part of this country, which I did not, because we came back to Taiwan, which I did not realize was here. I never knew about it. It was Sun Moon Lake. It is a lake in the mountains in the middle of the country, of the island of Taiwan. And you go up there, and I mean, it's hot, but like, the breeze is nice. The
Big
water
lake.
looks beautiful. There's little coastal towns all around. It was pretty cool. I did enjoy it very thoroughly.
Something interesting is that all around this country, English on all the signs.
That's a
All
lot
the
of, that's a lot of countries.
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it. On all the street signs, on menus, restaurants, English.
Just a lot of most tourists from anywhere speak English. Like that, not most,
But even in
majority.
non-touristy areas, because we were in some like more rural
Yeah,
parts
that's
of the
true.
country, and there were English everywhere.
That's true.
I would expect that in the touristy parts, yes, but not in the rural areas.
But we explored. We had some fun on our weekend here because obviously we're working, but factories are closed on the weekend. So you do something to enjoy and you kind of sightsee. And we got to see the lake. We got to enjoy the towns. We got great food. One thing about us is that we're not that tall. We're 6 foot. So we're walking around Sun Moon Lake, and we got to see a more rural part of this country where we see the industrial part here in the cities where we visit factories. And it was pretty cool. We climbed up to see some temples. We got to enjoy the more natural beauty of this country. And I think there's a lot more to this country than people realize. And it was cool to be able to experience it on a weekend for me and him because it's not something that we normally get to do. But then, back to work today, and we went to go see a few factories, and that is where we found this bad boy. Not found, but that's where we got this display case that we're about to show you. Talk about all the things that are in it, or do you want me to do it?
So you guys have probably seen a lot of these before. These are our finger pick pliers, but there's one in here that nobody has seen before, actually.
But it's already a thing.
It's a brand new item. It's not already a thing. It's not on our website. It's nowhere. But we're going to talk about it here because it's a sneak peek. First,
We not talked about it ever? That's crazy.
No, never, ever.
Well,
So,
we are in a month, so.
you know our BCT1 for like evap fittings, right? But this is a finger pick spring-loaded plier that you just use your fingers for. And then we have one for body clips. These all have different shaped tips. So this one is a pointier tip so that you can get into those openings on the top of a push button clip that you would find on body panels. This one is more rounded, And here is the electrical disconnect fitting, or disconnect pliers. And then here's this newest one. Guess what it's for? Fuses.
Fuse puller.
This is a fuse puller. So, if you ever have to get into a fuse box and pull some fuses, bam, now you have this little plier. You just use your fingers to pick them out. And a lot of people get confused when they look at these things. They don't pay attention to the tips and notice that they are for different things. So we've made this display that kind of separates them. They're just kind of written out here what they are. It has the picture of the tool, the things that they remove. This one for evap fuel lines, body clips, electrical disconnect, and fuses. And it's in an EVA foam in a blow mold case. So we're going to bring this to shows. We're going to show it around. Some of the trucks may be able to put this on their truck and
We
show
will
it
be
to their
using
customers.
this specifically for shows so that we can easily display them and show dealers or end users, depending on the show, what we have to offer in a VIM case, easily displayed out. But the final product will have the markings on them here, so you know what they're for when you have them in your toolbox.
Yeah, so the ones that you guys have seen are, this one is all black, just with the green, line around the handle. We're kind of changing them all to this green centerpiece with the writing on the.
I think it looks better.
Writing on it. It does look way better in my opinion. With the black jaws, it looks really good. And this is not something that we're selling as like a master set.
No, we
This
will
is
have a display. We will have a display available for dealers to buy. It will be smaller than this because this is crazy.
We are considering doing a foam master set where we'll lay them out a little more compact, maybe up and down like this, so that the foam is a little smaller. And we'll do a master set where we have all of them there, so that if anyone wants to have all of them, they can.
But the display will most likely be in a foam. It will most likely do a pouch of some sort for a master set of all 4 pieces if someone wants to purchase that. But this specific display is meant for us to have at shows because, as you can see, you have laser etched up here on the foam, all the different types of fasteners that each one goes to, as well as the word on here and the part numbers etched on the jaws of the tool. So you have this case, which easily depicts what's in this stuff, and the final product might be a little bit different than this, but this is the idea of what we want to do and what we want to display this product as.
We're going to use this
like
style for a few other things as a display, because that way we don't have to open up individual packaging at shows. We can just kind of bring a display that show, like for, let's say, the bit ratchets that we have. We have 5, 6, 7.
We found that when we go to shows, we open 180 boxes and have a bunch of garbage to throw away, a bunch of stuff to set up, and everything becomes a mess as soon as someone gets in the booth, starts picking stuff up. This is a much easier way to keep it all organized and to, honestly, to transport it to and from shows without having to throw away a bunch of packaging or store it somewhere for the show and then put it back in, tape it back up, and then that's just a pain. So having displays like this for shows will make it a lot easier and a lot quicker for us to set it up and break it down.
Well, it's a nicer way to display the product. I mean, like, this looks nice and organized, clean, and it shows you what the different tools do. So
our booth looks great at the beginning of the show.
Also, the thing is, that's the other thing, is that at the beginning of shows, we organize our booth. It looks great. At the end of the show, it is a tornado. At the end of the show, the booth is a disaster. So it's just a lot easier to keep things organized and put together. So like this way, things all stay in one place. And if ever things do go missing, right away, and you can put it back in its spot. And if someone picks it up and looks at it, they feel more inclined to put it back in its place. You know what I mean? As opposed to it just being on the table, people walk around with it.
And as our business grows, we're finding it more and more difficult to keep organized in settings where we're bringing all of our products. This will help us maintain that organization a little bit. And honestly, it's part of an exposition is to have it's marketing. It's a display. You got to look the part, You can't just have stuff everywhere, which tends to happen when you have so much stuff that everyone wants to look at and they're picking it up and throwing it around. But hopefully this style display will help us pack stuff into toolboxes a lot easier, bring them, display them, and kind of get the point across. And also, smaller versions of this will be great for dealers to be able to walk into shops and say, hey, boom, this family of product is available from VIM Tools.
Yeah. But there's a ton of other stuff that we've that we have here, samples and things that are in this room that we cannot talk
We
about
have promised
here.
that we're not going to show these.
We have had to promise that we're not going to show them until Tuesday.
And honestly, we
A lot of
need
the
to stop doing
samples
it.
anymore. We have to stop doing that.
Because stuff takes months, and you guys complain, and we show it, and
And then also we're
3 months afterwards, yeah.
Also, we show it on here. We show it to our competitors, things that we're working on, and there have been instances where
And I would call BS a year ago, but it's happened.
Something does show up, and it's something that nobody was working on previously.
That's what happens, exactly. A year ago, I would have called BS, but
and then,
we've seen multiple instances where we'll have a product that we'll show in here, we'll bring it to market, we'll be the first ones, we were developing it, but 2 months after we have it, someone's got it, which it takes much longer to develop.
It doesn't. It's not that quick. It's not that quick. So it's obvious that they were working on the same thing at the same time. Right when we showed the sample on here, so we have to be more.
We've had competitors tell us like, "Yeah, I watch your stuff."
Yeah, well, yeah, oh yeah.
We've had competitors buy stuff from our website.
Always, yeah. We have competitors buy stuff on our website using their company email.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Massive corporations. I'm not gonna say that name. We're gonna leave it at that. They're here, just in this hotel.
Stop.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So we are at the beginning of our week. We visited 5 factories today in Taiwan, and we're visiting another 5 tomorrow, and then another 5 on Wednesday before attending a local show on Thursday. So we've got a very busy week. We want to just give you guys an update so you could see kind of what our work week looks like here in Taiwan. I cannot say with enough enthusiasm that I cannot wait to get home. I cannot wait to be home and see my house still there. But all things considered, you will be seeing a very cool Tool Tuesday next week where we shoot some footage tomorrow at one of our testing facilities here in Taiwan so that you guys can see we're putting some tools to the test in machinery that we do not have access to at home.
Yes, so we are going to have we're going to be in our testing facility testing our ratchets, a variation of the ratchets.
Big ass ratchets.
We haven't yet decided which ones we're going to do, but we are going to be able to do all of our heavy duty ratchets, including the 3/4. So we'll probably do the 3/4 as well as the 1/2 inch because that's something that Clay can't do at his house. He's done the 3/8 and the 1/4.
Clay's a big boy. He ain't that big.
It's also just dangerous to go and put
3/4. You breaking up 3/4
foot-pounds on him.
What's he gonna do?
You'd have to rig something up that's dangerous.
Bro, you'd see him like a Looney Tune go. He'd end up in another state. You go from Boonville to Memphis.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that with some actual machinery tomorrow. That is in a
it should be a very
safe, controlled
cool
environment with machinery that is made for it. So
we'll. And again, this is our first time trying something like this.
Yes.
In this type of setting. Where Clay's on the break room, we've never done this type of setting in a controlled setting that we've never been in. But I'm excited to see what comes out of it. I think it'll be cool. It could be terrible, but who knows? We're going to do it either way.
It'll never be terrible. I mean, we're going to make do and find, how we can record it, and we're going to make a Tool Tuesday around it. So hopefully it'll be good. It won't be part of the break room. It'll be a part of Tool Tuesday.
But stay tuned for that. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this unconventional episode of Taiwan Tuesday, where we talked a little bit about our experience here. So it's an insight for you guys to what we deal with. And you got to experience Taiwan as Michael experienced his first time.
We didn't even talk about some of the food.
The food?
Yeah.
You know what? It's the end of the episode. There's only people here who care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's talk about the food.
Okay, let's talk about the food.
In Vietnam, the food was good. It was good. And I will say, my first time in Taiwan, I ate very traditional food. And as respectful as I was in eating all of it, I was not the biggest fan. Some of it was good. Some of it was rough.
Yeah.
Next time around, a little bit better. This time around, because he's here for whatever reason, they're treating him like royalty. We have eaten good. We have eaten very well while here. And in Vietnam, I enjoyed a lot of the food. We had a bunch of different things, and a lot of it was good. Some of it wasn't really my taste, but a lot of it was good. And I don't really have a lot of complaints about that. The breakfast in these countries. How is the breakfast?
There's a section of the buffet because we're staying in hotels, so they have a breakfast buffet. I
Here.
can't speak to a lot of the other foods that they have because I have strictly stuck into the American.
He's a very big breakfast guy, and he
Look,
bacon,
there's a
eggs.
section of
toast.
the buffet here that is eggs, bacon, toast, sausage, pancakes.
But
And I have just destroyed that whole section of the buffet.
I will say that Asian breakfast buffets are elite. I have been to breakfast buffets all over Asia. The one
I
here
will say breakfast
is not as
dumplings.
much.
Breakfast dumplings.
Yeah, but the breakfast buffet at
Amazing.
this specific hotel is not in general. This has not been crazy.
The Vietnam.
But Vietnam was,
one
and
good.
the one in Thailand and the one in the Maldives. They're insane. They are insane. The breakfast spreads these people put out. I'll give it that, and it's delicious. It's just I don't know if it's because the food is cheaper. I really don't know. But they go all in for breakfast, and it's specifically breakfast. But whatever, very good. Now, the food we've had for lunch and dinner there's been a mix of really good and some unique things. We're definitely trying. My kid's a trooper. Did not peg him for this much of a trooper when it comes to trying new things. Because I did it my first time, but then the second time I was like, you know what? I did not like that. I'm not doing this again. He has tried everything. Anything and everything they put in front of him, he has eaten. Crazy. And I mean, there's been some heinous stuff that I was like, there's no way. And he downed it. And it was... There's one thing in this country called stinky tofu.
And it's exactly what you think.
Stinky tofu. It is what I understand to be a fermented vegetable broth. So essentially rotting vegetables in broth with...
Literally, that's how they explained it. Was rotting vegetables.
Fermented rotting tofu chunks in it's a red brine, along with coagulated duck blood.
Imagine like the worst.
The duck blood is what I'm assuming makes the color, and the vegetables are what makes the smell. Because it smells. Yeah. It smells god awful.
Imagine the worst BO you've ever smelled, and double it.
And then you eat it.
And then put it in your mouth.
Now, I will say I did try it the first time because just trying to show some support, some respect. Tried it. The smell is unbearable, but I did try it. And it does not taste how it smells.
So they bring this soup out. They set it on the table. They set it on this little burner.
Well, they cook it in front of you.
Yeah, they set it.
Because it's cold when it gets there.
Yeah, it's not hot when it gets there. So they set it on the burner. You can't really smell it yet. It starts to heat up. And as it heats up, it starts to steam. And the steam is what radiates.
Well, once it starts releasing.
Radiates in the room. And there's a spinner table. It's not just like a table and they set things.
Family style. Everything here is family style. It's
yeah,
a big
it's all
lazy Susan type deal in the middle.
There's a lazy Susan in the middle. You spin it around. Everyone gets what they want. So they set it there. You spin it around. And as you spin it, the steam is like a little train. And it's a train of stink.
It smells. It smells real bad.
It comes around to me, and I'm like,
it's like a joke how bad it smells.
He's been talking it up. He's like, dude, this stuff stinks. Like it really stinks. So I was like, okay, you're an exaggerator. So I stick my nose out. I'm like,
and I saw the steam go like a cartoon where it goes in up the nostril, and it was like he smelled smelling salts. He went, oh!
It's like a compulsive reaction that your body will have.
Because you don't expect it to come from food.
Because I was like, I played football my whole life, so I've been in a locker room. I've smelt some bad shit.
But you expect that to smell.
But this, I was like, can I? So, and I'm not dramatic. I'm like if I smell something bad, I would say, oh yeah, that smells bad. I wouldn't body react.
It punched you in the face.
I went, ooh, and like my body. My body went like, ugh. It's not pleasant.
It smells. And again, I will reiterate, I tried it, he's tried it, but I'm not trying that again. The taste is not nearly what the smell is, but it's just, it fills the room, so when you're eating it, that's part of your senses. You smell it while you're eating it. It's crazy. It's unbearable to me, but again, that's just that's their culture. So
yeah. So stinky tofu is part of their the culture. People do like it, and it's something that everybody enjoyed, and it's something that as Americans, to us, we react to the smell, but nobody else seemed to care.
No, that's just normal to them.
Nobody else cared about the smell.
I will say that since getting here, and all the food because he's eaten a lot. I mean, we've eaten a lot. Yeah, we've eaten regularly, and you grubbed every time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's been grubbing. Believe it or not, out of the two of us, he grubs. I don't. I don't feel like shit. Like we've eaten a lot, and like I don't feel bad. If I were to do this In the States, we were out of town for 2 weeks, just eating out.
Oh my god.
I'd feel like absolute
I
dog
would not
crap.
be going
I'd
anywhere
feel
tomorrow.
like garbage.
I wouldn't be going anywhere tomorrow.
I feel fine. I feel better than I do at home sometimes. Like, I feel fine.
Yeah.
And we've been drinking and eating and not exercising.
Yep.
And I feel fine.
It's crazy. It's
There's
like
something in the food. Not here. I'm saying there's something in the food there that makes us feel bad.
There's something in the food in the States that is making everybody feel like shit.
And that is a common conception with people who travel. They feel like garbage when they go home.
Yeah, it's
Because
crazy.
at home, like, it's just the food in the States, there's something to it. And again, don't get me wrong, I am in no way a fucking beacon of health. Like, it's not like I'm eating all organic at home. But I'm not doing that here either, and I don't feel bad here. There is ways you can do it. I don't want anyone to say like, "Oh, it's not the food in America. You're just a fat piece of shit." No, what I'm getting at is that there's the general public here versus there. Something's different about the food.
Listen, we are some big ass boys over here. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And man, I can't tell you how many times I've been told that. I'm not told that at home.
No, they're roasting you for whatever reason. I don't know why. They went on to me the first time.
It's not like a roast. It's like
but they did that to me the first time.
They're like, "Oh wow, big boy." I'm like, "Yo, what did you just call me?"
Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah,
it's
something.
borderline offensive, but they don't mean it that way.
Yeah,
but they're still calling you big. They're calling you big backed, and
yeah,
they're being nice about it.
Tell me I got a big back, and I don't know what to do about it.
But we have had some food that we've thoroughly enjoyed. So it's not to say that we don't like everything, because a lot of food is really, really good. It's just not all of it's for me, and a lot of it's just so different. And you haven't been much out of the country much.
No.
So your experience is much different than mine.
The one time I did go out of the country, it was still food that I'm used to.
The Dominican.
The Spanish food.
It wasn't crazy.
You know, so this is my first time having completely different.
This is like complete culture shock, and you've handled it very well.
Culinary experience.
I don't know if it's a compliment or not, but you've handled it very well. You've devoured anything they put in front of you.
I've told you time and time again. Me with food, I can just.
You didn't skip a beat. No. They put rotten vegetables in front of you. You were like, like, it's crazy.
I don't know what to say.
Different animal than I thought he was. Trooper, because I thought he was gonna fold, 100%.
I don't fold with food.
It was crazy.
I don't fold with food.
He's been anything they put in front of this man, he's eating.
Yeah. Now that's not to say that some of it was.
You didn't like something, but you tried everything, which I did the first time. I'm just a lot more cautious now.
It was outside of my comfort zone, you know, but I will try everything once.
He lives by that.
I will try everything
once. He lives by that. He is true to it. More props, because didn't think that was going to happen.
So, you know, I've tried it all. There's a lot that I did like. There's only a couple things I didn't like. Like stinky tofu, it just smells like dog. But the taste is not bad. Like, it tastes okay. It just smells bad. That's all. So I wouldn't order it again just because I couldn't deal with the smell. But the taste was good.
That's what I wanted to get at. So tonight we had this bottle of scotch that was given to us, the dinner we went to, the stories we shared, the laughs we had. Amazing dinner with amazing friends and partners here in Taiwan. That being said, they ordered us it essentially does look like a fancy chicken wing.
It looks like a chicken wing. It looks like a big chicken wing.
One thing about Michael, the boy likes the chicken wings. Michael likes the chicken wings. And they put them out it's a very nice restaurant. They put them out. They gave you the private room. They gave you the sauce spread and the this and the that. And it looks like a chicken wing. And Michael grabs it and he just.
Well, hold on.
Gone.
Hold on.
And one of the people we were with goes, do you know what you just ate? And he goes, chicken. He goes, that is bird swallow, which bird swallow is essentially, my understanding is a little weird about it, but the nest of a bird that is put back into, like, stuffed into the actual
it's like
meat
bird,
of a bird.
it's bird saliva.
It's weird.
From a bird's nest. It
is weird, but when he said that, he goes, do you understand the value of what you just ate?
Yeah, he was
we looked it up. It is the most valuable thing that humans consume.
It's one of the most valuable things that humans
consume. It is $2,300 a pound. A kilo. Yeah, you're right.
No, it's
It's a kilogram.
but
So
it's depending on where you get it from, it's anywhere from
market price.
anywhere from 4,000 to 14,000 per kilogram.
Not 14,000.
Yes. I promise you, I looked it up afterwards.
It's very expensive, and he ate it looking for.
And I went, I saw it. I was like, oh my God, bro! I've been eating like all this Asian food, like a chicken wing.
He goes,
I literally
buffalo
went,
sauce.
I went. And this guy looked at me. He's like, "Do you know what you just ate?" And I was like,
Chicken.
"Chicken."
It was wonderful. It was a very good experience for us. We enjoyed it. He got another one to enjoy it, but we thoroughly enjoyed our dinner today. We tried a bunch of different things, and we've noticed that they eat a lot, but they eat in community, and they eat so much. No one gets a giant gluttonous meal.
Dude.
You get a little plate, a little cup, and you pick at things little by little until you're full. So you figure out you're full, whereas in the States, we get a big inside plate, and you devour it until you
Yeah, no.
until you're dead.
They eat a lot here and often. It's just that the food doesn't kill you. Like it doesn't.
You don't feel bloated walking around.
It doesn't put you out. If
You don't
this
wake
were the
up
States,
burping.
If this were the States, we would not be doing this video right now.
No. I feel much better now than I have on any business trip that we go on.
Massive dinner, and we are here talking. I would be out. I would be out.
And we drank.
Yeah, drank that bottle.
drank.
That's just the whiskey. We had 4 bottles of wine.
We had a bunch of different types of wine, some 30-year-old aged wine. We had a very nice night tonight, and we decided to do a Tool Tuesday so that A, Clay has time to edit this video, and B, because we want to do that testing video tomorrow and have time to edit it for next week so that it's done correctly.
Yes, because after that we have SEMA. We're gonna be doing a SEMA video. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming up. We had to line things up. So
it's not going to be the most conventional month and a half.
No, we had to do Tool Tuesday tonight so that we can do the episode tomorrow for next week, and then we got SEMA coming up after that. So
not to say we don't care, because Homeboy went crazy. He moved all the stuff around. We could have just done it in the corner, but he wanted the window in the back. He set this little studio up.
He doesn't give a
I don't.
He didn't care. Okay.
I think that you guys care about what we talk about more so than what's in the background.
It makes a difference.
It does. I just don't care enough to do anything, so I let you do it.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
And I'm okay with you doing it. I just don't want to do it.
Okay. Well, yeah, we moved some stuff around.
And by we means he.
So
I went.
We're in Taichung, Taiwan. So out here is Taichung.
Chung means middle. Nan means south. Pei means north, from what I've been told.
Yeah.
So Taipei, this is the north. Taichung is the middle, and Tainan is the south.
Fun fact: Taiwan gets a lot of hurricanes as well. They're called typhoons here.
It's the same thing.
And it's the same thing. It's what they call them, typhoons. And they were just hit like 2 weeks before we showed up. There was a typhoon that hit. Hurricanes always hit South Taiwan. They never come around to the north side.
No, they don't hit south. They normally hit West Taiwan.
Okay, oh yeah.
East.
They come around the east side of Taiwan. They hit the east side of Taiwan.
And there's tons of mountains in the middle.
There's tons of mountains in the middle of Taiwan. So the east side of Taiwan gets barreled by typhoons.
But there's not a lot of large cities on the east side. Most of that is vacation
because
cities.
It's kind of developed that way because of it.
Because of that, yeah. Because that's where it gets destroyed.
Typhoons just barrel the east side of Taiwan. Then the mountains
like the
break
ports,
it up.
Even the ports are on
the
this
mountains
side.
just break it up before it gets to the other side, and then the rest is kind of tucked away safely. Not to say that there's not any destruction.
They have
here
earthquakes and everything too, but
they have earthquakes and stuff.
But they have built the economy around this side of the island for sure. The ports are on this side. All the major factories are on this side. The businesses, the city, everything is on this side. Whereas the other side, from my understanding, keep in mind, it's very limited because I'm not from here. From what I've been told. The other side is mostly beach towns and vacation areas. There's not a whole lot of economic activity on that side. It's more secluded in beach resorts, things like that. Whereas the metropolitan areas of Taiwan are all on this west side of the island.
Yeah.
But one thing, I did enjoy Vietnam a lot. It was hotter than shit. I thought we're from Florida. So it's hot.
I wish we could play that.
No,
video.
you can't play that video.
It was very, 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 very hot. Hot. I just couldn't imagine. You know.
It was absurd. And honestly, I don't know why I thought immediately went to it, but I went to, obviously the Vietnam War, and in driving around, walking around, being around the area, I was like, yo, could you imagine being in cargo pants, layers and baggage like that? It's hot.
Dude,
Oh God, it's hot.
I can imagine.
You're in this massive jungle.
Yeah.
And there's snakes and everything's wet. Like you can't see nothing. It's just it kind of gives you a little more perspective of what actually went on during that time.
And the area that we were in was what was previously known as Saigon.
Yeah, we were in Ho Chi Minh City.
It's called Ho Chi Minh City now. It used to be Saigon, which a lot of people know that name, but it is now called Ho Chi Minh City, which the new government changed its name because the new, what do you call him, emperor?
I don't know.
Whatever you call him, his name was Ho Chi Minh. So it's Ho Chi Minh.
We're bordering line of misinformation. I do not know.
Borderline misinformation. If anyone here knows anything
if you can
about
fact check if you want, because I don't know what he's talking about.
If anyone here wants to fact check, go ahead and fact check. But that's from what I understand. That's how it was. It was Saigon. The new government took over. Then they decided to change the name, and the guy's name was Ho Chi Minh, so they changed it to Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah, a lot of massage parlors.
Bro.
It's crazy.
So we walked around the downtown area because why not? So, we were walking around every corner. There's a ton of massage parlors in downtown. Every time you turn a corner, someone's asking you if you want a Vietnamese massage.
We went on a probably 2 city block walk to look for a souvenir shop for Michael to get something for his wife. And I think we were approached a total of 8 times for a Vietnamese massage with a wink. It was insane. And it's just, I guess we give off a vibe.
One of them rubbed Louis' belly.
One of them did give me a little tickle and said,
"Come
on, big boy." I was like, whoa. As tempting as that? No, I'm kidding.
You got me.
It is insane. It's just they're open about it. And I guess since we look like Americans, which we are, they kind of targeted us. I feel like it was a targeted ad, but like in real life.
Yeah.
But to my surprise, whatever. I think we have rambled enough for today.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
This is a very weird, long, and unique episode of Taiwan Tuesday.
It's exactly what I expected.
Anyways, thank you all for following along. We will see you next week.
All right, guys. Hey, wait. Stay tuned for next week. We're going to have the Tool Tuesday episode. We're testing our heavy-duty ratchets, our 3/4 ratchet, in a testing facility here in Taiwan. So we're still going to have a Taiwan Tuesday next Tuesday. It's going to be a little different than this. We're just sitting in our hotel room. So make sure you stay tuned. If you made it to the end, thank you very much.
And the rambling you just heard is somewhat influenced by the alcohol we drank.
Yep. So thank you guys for following along. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for next week's episode. Peace.